Hello and welcome back to another Bad Movie Reviews review hosted by your favourite sinner vampire from Down Under, Ben. And I am reviewing a film I've been looking forward to for such a long time. Probably one of my most anticipated films of the year, and it is none other than Sinners, which is the most recent film from Ryan Coogler. Now, if you're not familiar with his work, I'm sure you would be, but if you're not familiar with him, he directed Fruitvale Station, Creed, both of the Black Panther films, and this is obviously he's done fantastic work before, but this is his first fully original film. Obviously, Fruitvale Station based on a true story, Black Panther based on obviously source material comic book, and then obviously you've got Creed as well, which is somewhat original, but obviously built from a source material in Rocky as well. So this is his fully original film, and to give you the least amount of info as possible, as I'd recommend going in not knowing much. It's essentially about two twin brothers, both played by Michael B. Jordan, basically smokestack, and the gangsters in the 1920s that basically go back to, war vets, gangsters go back to their hometown to essentially put on open a bar, put on a party basically, open up a business. And obviously you've seen the trailers, it's essentially a vampire film as well. Now, to touch on this film in the best way possible, this might be one of the best films of the year. Might be one of my favourite films of the year. I don't want to obviously come on too strong, as obviously I've just seen it this morning, but Ryan Coogler, everyone here is at the top of their game. Now, there's obviously a lot more to go into it, and I'll touch on that, but firstly, I'll touch on obviously how the film looks and feels. And overall, the cinematography by Autumn Durald, I believe, is just genuinely beautiful. The film is phenomenal to look at all times. Now, I was lucky to see this in IMAX, so I went and saw it in IMAX, and similar to obviously your Avatar, your Way of Water, like your Dune, it does utilize IMAX projection, so it does utilize the full screen, and the transition in some of the sequences is just mesmerizing. I was smiling ear to ear from start to finish of those sequences, realistically from start to finish of the film itself. And to touch on that, obviously, the performances of the film, the direction, the performances, Michael B. Jordan's probably his best performance to date. His seamless performance playing twins, Smoke and Stack, is just incredible, down to the minute aneurysms that he has. You can almost tell which twin is which, and I think that's the hard thing with playing twins is there are films out there and you can sometimes get that uncanny, over eccentric twin to kind of differentiate the two, but he is phenomenal here, and even then, just down to the minor characters through the film. Obviously, you've got Haley Steinfeld in the film, Jack O'Connell. You've got phenomenal cast. You've got Miles Caton, which is his first film. He plays Sammy, and he might be the show stealer in the film, to be honest. And it's something to be seen, to be believed. But overall, and Delroy Lindo, as well, who's somewhat of a legend himself, is phenomenal, and somewhat of the comedy. Some of the, obviously the comedy comes from his character, but the performances from everyone, they just deliver some of their career best work, along with obviously the director and Ryan Coogler. I think this is his best film to date, and it's just made me very excited for everything he's got coming in the future. And I hope he's like a Scorsese De Niro or Scorsese Leo, where they just keep working together. Obviously, they've done Creed, they've done Black Panther, now this, and Fruitvale Station, and now this. Now, do beware, if you're going into this film expecting a vampire film, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I just think you're going in with somewhat the wrong expectations. This film is very much a extremely well-paced, in my opinion, film that takes us a amount of time to build up. I think the first third of the film is purely just character development. It allows you to build this relationship with Smoke and Stack, organizing their joint, and all the characters, the preacher boy Sammy, all the characters intertwining and building into that joint, that one night. Obviously, the majority of the film, pretty much the whole film, takes place over 24-hour one night. And yeah, the first third of the film is purely built around that character development aspect before it obviously gets into the thrills of the vampire side of things. But overall, uh, I would just recommend not going in expecting like a fully fledged horror vampire film, because that's probably not what you're going to get. But I think I got to give it to Coogler, the way he intertwines the horror thematic, the horror themes, the vampiric side of things, the impeccable character development and score, the sound design is impeccable, but the script writing, along with just the music aspect. Now, something that most people have talked about, I've seen in reviews, is the music aspect of the film, and this is very much like a love letter to blues music. And there's some sequences in the film which are just genuinely jaw dropping, like beautiful, impeccable. And I think the fact that Coogler's doing that show, like the direction in those sequences, you'll know what I'm talking about once you see the film. If you have seen it, you already know. It's just impeccable. And I think that's due to his work, to be fully honest with you. And it's just made me want to go home. Like, I'll be buying the vinyl and be playing that non-stop with this film. Now, obviously Coogler's work as well, with Coogler's work and with somewhat directors making, a lot of directors who make these films that you can look at a face value and you can take what you want out of them, but there are obviously films like these where they have much deeper, thematical meanings and allegories and metaphors, and I think some of them can just smack you on the head with it and like just beat you like, deathless, and it's very on the nose, and I feel like that sometimes can take away from what you're bringing in the experience. But I just loved this film, and everything I took away from it, the fact of obviously using vampires as, a symbol of like oppression and not, obviously not spoilers, I'll try, no spoilers here, but just using blues music as and freedom, and essentially examining the vices and virtues of that, and even shaping like the choices in life and what we take from past and present situations. I think this is just something that like you could watch 30-40 times and just take something different out of it each time. And I am already looking forward to going to see this film again. I will 100% be seeing it again. I'll probably go to IMAX again. It's just from the first frame to the end, it is fantastic. And I do want to basically touch on the fact that like this is I think a $90 million film. I can't remember. I think it was nearly $100 million US film. Not many blockbusters have the balls to do something that this film did, in terms of just the story, the action, it's somewhat, it's extremely serious, it's sad, it is big, especially in IMAX. Like the sequences are fantastic. It is somewhat of like a sexy film, like most somewhat vampire films are. Like I touched on Nosferatu being somewhat like, it was just like lust and that side of things. But the best way to put it is it's somewhat of a musical mixed with horror, gangster aspects, vampires. It's just very big, and I think Coogler's managed to grab and perfect something from multiple genres. But this is a film that'll stick with me for quite some time. I absolutely adore it. I can't wait to see it again. If you have seen it, I'd love to know what other people think. I would absolutely love it. Not many blockbusters, go out all guns blazing, but if you have seen it, comment below, let me know. I just can't wait to talk about this film with friends and family and you in the comment section. Comment below, let me know what you think. If you like the review, give it a thumbs up. It does mean a lot. Subscribe for more of our reviews, and we'll catch you next time.